it is The Beat, and Fletch and Martin Gore from Depeche Mode have taken time out to pay us a visit this evening. Currently rehearsing for, what, your umpteenth world tour. Tell us about that, chaps. How's that going?
Before we answer that, how comes he gets the informal and I get the formal? Well, yeah, we're just in rehearsals at the moment, and we start in just over 2 weeks. And it's going to be a very long one.
What sort of frame of mind are you in at the moment? You know, with, what, a year away in front of you?
I think we're all very, I think it's at this stage you get very excited about the tour. We've been sort of like putting it together for the last 3 or 4 months. It's really, coming to the end of the rehearsals, we're playing well, it's starting to sound good, and it's all very exciting. We feel we can play a gig now, and we've just got a couple of weeks to go, and we know the crowds in Europe are really good anyway, so we're just quite excited about it all.
And with this album as well, I mean, you've had some outside help, which I don't think really you'd had before. I mean, what was the sort of thinking behind that? Tell us about that.
Well, in the past we've always had these sort of set rules where we just didn't use outside musicians, and we wouldn't even repeat sounds twice. But our producer over the last couple of albums, Flood, has just sort of encouraged us to be not so narrow-minded. And on this album we used gospel singers, we used a pipe player, we used a big orchestra, and we just did some things that we don't normally do, and it turned out to be very exciting for us. So it was a bit of a challenge as well.
I mean, Martin, you sang a live vocal with the accompaniment of a 28-piece orchestra. What was that like to do?
Well, it was really exciting and so different for us because, we're not very, nothing's very spontaneous in the studio with us. It's that usually we spend at least 3 weeks recording each track and then probably another week mixing it. And to actually just go in and do the whole thing within 3 hours and have it finished, it's just so different from the way we work that it just makes the whole thing very exciting.
How do you feel that your songwriting has changed over the years?
Still write about the same subjects.
All the same subjects, but I think I do manage to put a different slant on them slightly. That's about it really. I've got away with it for 13 years and I'm going well.
13 years together, that's a long time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Are there sort of like defined roles within the band now that you all have?
I suppose so. It's developed into that way, and we don't really overlap our roles that much. Alan, for instance, he loves it in the studio, so we just let him do all the work in the studio, which suits me and Martin very good. Dave, of course, he's really got into his singing, and Martin, again, with songwriting, we don't sort of get in the way of that,
So where does that leave you?
Doing nothing.
Now there's only one UK date so far this year, Crystal Palace Stadium, I think in July. What can everybody expect from that? What can we look forward to?
I think it's going to be a day of gloom. So far, Sisters of Mercy are definitely playing with us, and we just heard recently, I don't know if it's going to work out, but Einstürzende Neubauten are interested, so it could be a real sort of a gloomy day. I think it'd be a really good gloomy day.
Right, it's really cloudy.
Really raining and stuff.
We're aiming to make the doomiest gig in the whole of the summer.